Wastewater Intelligence Network WIN program is an initiative of National Institute of Urban Affairs under the guidance from Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs to track SARS-CoV-2 virus in wastewater.
For any government authority to take up any public project, the end goal is to benefit the citizen. So similarly with Wastewater Intelligence Network program, which essentially conducts wastewater surveillance, you as a public authority can use this program to benefit the end citizen in terms of better health. So whatever data analysis that we have looked at, whatever sample collection, testing and so on has happened, this entire activity is being conducted so that we can attain better public health management. Governance in wastewater surveillance is usually seen as an output or an end product that once we complete sample collection, testing, we get the results and then we do something with the data. But that is not always the case. Whenever you plan wastewater surveillance, you have to make sure that from day zero that you decide you want to conduct the surveillance, you keep certain things in mind with regards to how you would like governance to come into picture through the project. There are economically weaker sections in your city, there are slums, there are vulnerable populations. All of those have to be included into your sampling strategy to make the entire process more inclusive and not only focus on easier aspects from the city from where you can sample from, such as STPs or pumping stations or areas which have access to better healthcare infrastructure. So the entire surveillance activity will be very successful if you look at wastewater surveillance as a data point for capturing data from areas where people don't usually have access to healthcare infrastructure. So this is a very essential aspect of pre-planning. The second aspect, which is very crucial to plan out your surveillance in terms of governance, is that you need to consider two scenarios. One is of city level surveillance for macro level monitoring. This means that you are essentially looking at monitoring overall trends in your city, and there are fewer sample collection points covering large populations. For example, from sewage treatment plants or pumping stations which serve lakhs of people in their catchment. From this, you cannot identify a pinpointed lane or an area, but you can get the overall trends of the health hazard or disease that is taking place. Second aspect that you can look at is of area level surveillance for micro containment. So what this essentially means, you actually drill down to smaller lanes, smaller areas, and which is a more controllable population. So for example, if there is a spread or an outbreak of cholera in that area, then you can actually, it is a population of a few households or not more than 500 to 1,000 people, and that can be contained. So you're looking at a smaller population. So you need to decide why you want to do which of these, whether you want to have a bird's eye view or you want to look at very fine grain or drill down to lane or area level. This will actually determine how many points you want to sample for, and it will also determine other things in your project, like how much it would cost you and what is the frequency of sampling, things like that. Wastewater data can be used for different scenarios to actually take actions on ground. The first thing that you need to do, however, is to integrate this data in your everyday decision making by using, let's say, your integrated command and control center or any such system at your IT cell or department where you can actually visualize this data and somebody can use it to draw insights and take actions. The second thing is that wastewater acts as an early warning system. So hotspots can be identified well before the cases actually start emerging in hospitals. The other thing that wastewater can actually give us insights about is vulnerable populations in your city, in and around your city. So there are economically weaker sections, there are certain areas which are more prone to diseases, maybe because they are located closer to industries or polluted areas, or because they are densely populated like slums. So these kind of areas can actually be monitored using wastewater, especially in cases of vector and waterborne diseases. Very importantly, when we speak about any public project, is to be able to communicate the effort and also to communicate the insights that we have generated. Let's say in this case of wastewater, we know where there are certain trends and there is a spike in diseases and spread. So it's very important to not keep the early warning system restricted to us, but also take it to the public and the stakeholders residing in those areas who can actually take actions to protect themselves also. So this can be done by putting up your dashboard to the public so that they can monitor also for themselves. When we speak about citizen engagement, another very important aspect is that we take it down to the last rung of the governance ladder, which is the area sabhas, the ward sabhas and the ward committees. These play a very crucial role when it comes to decision making at the local level and at the ground level where things actually make an impact. So this data and insights that you draw from wastewater can be communicated to these committees, who can thereafter take action, and they can also help you out at the stage of, let's say, sample collection and sampling points that you have to identify. So these things can be done in congruence with the citizens.